This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the HTC Touch Pro2 for Sprint. This is really the third time we've looked at a Touch Pro2. First we looked at the unlocked GSM version, which is an import phone, then the T-Mobile version, and now we've got Sprint. The interesting thing here is the design. For the original Touch Pro on Sprint, they went for a kind of glass and chrome look. And that's the standard look of the Touch Pro2 so far, but this time Sprint has changed that. There's no chrome, no real obvious trim, so they've gone with a kind of a bevel in the plastic over here around all the sides. And the back of the phone features the speakerphone with the push button right here. So all you do is lay it down on the table and press that button for speakerphone. So all the Touch Pro2s have a fairly pronounced grill. But Sprint's design is fairly unique and extends down the whole back of the phone, though the speakers are actually just up in this area over here. Nonetheless, it probably lets the sound emanate out through the back cover. Got the same 3.2 megapixel autofocus camera lens here on the back. There is no flash, and as you can see, there is no self-portrait mirror. The stylus, if you want to use it, is right here and fits very tightly. This runs TouchFlo 3D, which is very optimized for finger touch, so you probably won't need the stylus unless you're on a legacy Windows mobile device which has tiny user interface elements, or if you're using the handwriting recognition. We've got the 3.5mm jack down here. Oh my god, a rarity for an HTC device. And the usual HTC mini USB connector here. This works with existing chargers and sync cables made for HTC devices that have come out in the past year, 2 years at least. You have the volume up and down over here, and just the power button up top. But the real cool thing about this phone, or one of the real cool things, is the very large slide-out QWERTY keyboard with the tilt design. You can use it flat, if you like, and it locks back in a flat position. Or you've got this tilted angle to make it work like a notebook. Display is a little bit wobbly in this position, though. So when you tap on the screen, you're going to end up with it being a little bit back to avoid too much wobble. But back to the keyboard. We have the offset keyboard here, which is kind of the signature of the Touch Pro2. It's like a desktop keyboard. So it's more natural when it matches your desktop keyboard. We've got the dedicated number row up here. Again, that's been normal so far for the Touch Pro2. You hit the function key to get the symbol row that are embedded in bright orange. You've got arrow keys here. Page up, page down are achieved with the function key in combination. And when you open up the keyboard, it switches to landscape mode automatically. It does have an accelerometer as well that works in several applications. So this is the default home screen when you open it up. Again, it shows any appointments you might have, your call history, your time. And if you tap here, you can get to all the TouchFlo 3D panels. They all work in landscape mode. Example, there's HTC's lovely TouchFlo 3D weather. You can put several cities in and get current conditions and a forecast. Close it up. Goes right back to portrait mode fairly quickly. The phone is responsive. HTC has done a good job of speeding up TouchFlo 3D since the first versions of the phone came out more than a year ago. And it is very usable. Your settings panel here is pretty much the same as on other recent TouchFlo 3D phones. So you can control your G sensors, syncing, wireless, sounds, wallpaper, and all that kind of thing. If you hit all settings to get this line that isn't listed there, you do see the traditional Windows Mobile tabbed settings interface. Likewise, if you go to the Start menu, you see a customized finger-friendly Start menu courtesy of HTC, and you can add and remove programs here as you see fit, so you can customize that. And if you hit all programs, in this case you get HTC's scrollable listing of all programs instead of the standard Windows Mobile kind of boring looking interface for program listings. The phone has EVDO Rev A for fast data. It comes with the Opera mobile browser. We'll take a look at that now. On the web tab, it does support YouTube. Playback with HTC's Flash Player. That's Sprint's portal site, which of course loads quickly enough because it's meant for mobile devices. The accelerometer is supported here, so you don't have to open the keyboard just to switch landscape mode. But let's go Visit our website to see how well and quickly it renders. So it's pretty quick for a full HTML website. This is not the mobile version of our website. Sorry, we don't have a mobile version of our website. It looks beautiful, and before it's done loading, you can scroll the page around, and it switches to full screen mode automatically when it's done loading the page or if you start scrolling around. Certainly a big step up from IE Mobile, even the newer IE6 Mobile, which is also on board here in case you do want to use that. And you can set bookmarks and other preferences. This is a very advanced browser. This has a resistive touchscreen. Windows Mobile 6.1 only supports resistive touchscreens. That's why you can use the stylus. Capacitive touchscreens do not support the stylus. Next, let's take a look at Sprint's value added. We'll take a look at Sprint Navigation real quick, which is their version of Telenav. We have previously acquired a GPS signal, so it should pick it up pretty quickly even though we're indoors now. And this has an 800 by 480 pixel display, so it's fantastic for viewing maps. So you've got on-screen zoom controls here. Zoom has been working a little slowly for us. Hopefully it's just a temporary glitch. This also has 3D maps, and it has a full set of spoken turn-by-turn directions, on-screen directions, and POIs. And now we'll take a look at Sprint TV, which, if you get one of Sprint's Simply Everything plans, is included, at least basic Sprint TV is. And we'll take a look at USA Network. And let's watch some Monk.
Well, for starters, you got a blown solenoid.
There it is. We have a pretty good signal here, but we're still seeing some frame drops, which is sort of typical of Sprint TV. And you can play this in full screen landscape mode.
1, 2, 3 routing switches, fried wiring. It's going to run you 300 parts and labor.
Well, when will it be ready?
Tomorrow, if you're lucky. Excuse me, is there an Air Force base around here? Air Force base?
So that is Sprint TV. For Sprint TV, that's not too bad. There is some breakup and some buffering, but it's pretty good, especially considering it's playing at high resolution. So that's the Touch Pro 2. In a nutshell, it's an improved version of the Touch Pro, basically, on Sprint. You've got TouchFlo 3D, but running faster and more efficiently, though the CPU specs are the same on this. HTC has done a good job of optimizing, and obviously you get the much larger 800 by 480 display, which makes a lot easier because the targets are bigger, and of course it's better for video playback, looking at maps, web pages, and you've got this really roomy offset keyboard. This is the joy to use. So that's the Sprint HTC Touch Pro 2 from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website to read the full review.